Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and I think it's about time to finish off the old Nature Unleashed series. Y'all remember this one, right? The obscure string of semi-scientific disaster movies by New Image Films, which sought to bring together the believable terror of natural disasters, along with drama and characters worthy of a Hollywood blockbuster. Or at least a Mexican soap opera. But as we saw last time with Nature Unleashed Volcano, the natural aspect of these natural disasters became a bit loosely defined, what with thus bringing in ghosts and psychic girls to explain the supernatural terror of a volcano. And some say that this only heightened in the final New Image Nature Unleashed film, Nature Unleashed Tornado. The story is about a news report. Not about weather, but about the political implications of various communities and their integration into the greater culture of Romania. However, an evil underbelly is working to bring about the end of days through dark rituals and terrifying power that can summon forth tornadoes. That's got something to do with natural disasters, I guess. So let's take a look at Nature Unleashed Tornado and see just how much of a disaster it is. We open up in Paradise on Earth, Texas in 1974. News is coming, though, that a massive tornado, maybe even two nados, are coming.
It's coming.
And that ain't the only thing, going by the facial expressions of Daniel Palladay here, played by Casper Zafar. But he's just excited because he's a storm chaser. The kind that doesn't so much chase as wait, and as luck would have it, the tornado is coming right for his family home. Said family includes his son, Josh, played by Alexandru Barba, who loves his father and wants to be just like him, already here to run towards the tornado and film it, but Daddy says no, it's too dangerous. But before you go, hey, why don't you take this unique pendant from me?
You look after your mama, okay?
Okay, thank you very much for pointing out who's actually going to be the main character going forward. So Josh is sent off to find his mother and go to the shelter, while Daniel takes the camera and heads outside to film the tornado, chaining himself to a tractor, which really doesn't sound like the most secure option. He films. But oh darn it, Josh is still farting around, not following his mother to the shelter as fast as he could. And the winds are getting so strong, Daniel is lifted off the ground. Thank God he's chained to that tractor. Those winds are so strong, we see them ripping up whole trees, tearing buildings apart, and even flipping whole tractors into the... Hey, wait a minute. But it's only Danny Boy here that seems to be affected by the winds around his home. Good thing, too, as his wife and baby have still not made it to the shelter because Josh here is still carrying around his camera like, look, Dad, I'm an absolute imbecile, just like you. Seeing his boy is in trouble, he shows him just how dangerous a tornado can be by undoing his chains while he's still being lifted in the air, resulting in him being lifted into the air by a tornado. Guess the smarts running in the family. After this, we suddenly jump ahead to modern day, 2005, where Josh is now played by Daniel Bernhardt, and got work as a cameraman filming a protest where Americans with thick Eastern European accents refuse to allow Gypsies to stay in America. Interestingly enough, I actually did live in the tri-state area around 2005, and I can say from first-hand experience, I never saw a single anti-Gypsy protest there. Surprising no one. But while this unrest is happening in the heart of the United States of America, over in the totally different, not at all related country of Romania, we see Larry Day as Petras, a political leader, talking about how the future of Romania is Gypsy integration. But this is being watched back in New Jersey by Ernie, played by Stephen Shellen. Even better, he's Daniel's boss and thinks the Romanian Gypsy story is hot.
You're going to Romania.
Just the cameraman he needs for this hot scoop that he just saw on international TV, so he's already a little late to the party. But hey, just say it's something like, I don't know, YouTube's broken copyright system has delayed your Halloween Ends review until after Halloween. Oh, I'm not bitter. But Josh doesn't want to go. Ernie reminds him, hey, you're Romanian anyway, right? Yeah, they forgot to mention that until now, but his father came from Romania. But in his short time here, he was sure to tell Josh that Romania sucks, and that's enough for him to reject this idea.
Josh. Romania. Think about it, okay?
Okay. Still no. Even if it wasn't going off to a place that my father for some reason specifically told me was terrible, who wants to take a vacation to Romania? As that is going nowhere, Josh decides to pop open the old shoebox of daddy memorabilia. All incredibly plot relevant, as when in Romania, Daniel wrote a book, and the co-author left him an ominous message.
The dark forces of Belial are closing in on me, and I fear that my days are numbered.
Just catching up on things. Hey, Danny boy, how you doing? How's the weather? Me? Doing pretty good. Except for this evil satanic cult thing that wants me dead. And the talisman is magical. It is the only thing that can stop the Meta Tempesta, a world-ending storm. This means something to Josh, as his father was killed by a tornado. Anyway, let's immediately move on to the following morning so we can introduce Nikki, played by Ruth Platt.
We're leaving for Romania in 3 hours.
Surprise! You're going to Romania! Yes, you said no, but you're going anyway! Seriously, the man never actually agrees to go, he just does. And then it's off to their first destination.
We're going to a gypsy village, it's not far.
You're kidding. We've just traveled overnight with no sleep.
Sir, she got you out of bed in the morning to catch your flight. It's not her fault if you didn't actually bother to sleep while lying there. Just grab an energy drink and go. But before the interview with the politician, they need some good B-roll footage of gypsies gypsying. Thus, they arrive, where everyone is singing and dancing as gypsies do. But when Nikki runs off for some reason...
I'm just gonna go freshen up. Don't move, okay? I'll be back in a second.
No problem.
Yeah, that's the reason they give when they don't have an actual reason. While she's gone, Josh spots a smoking hot gypsy woman, absolutely exuding relevance to the plot. Irina, played by Anya Lahiri. Seeing the creepo-American leering at her with a camera, she leaves, but he follows. Entering her tent well before Nikki returns, frustrated with her flaky filmer.
Drink.
Oh yeah, just accept a mysterious drink from a strange woman you were just creeping out. I guess she's just hospitable to all her guests, even the uninvited ones. Even better, Irina just so happens to be your friendly neighborhood gypsy fortune teller. How convenient. This plot could use some direction. Having Josh shuffle tarot cards, she draws them. In classic movie style, only the major arcana. That, to be fair, if she drew like the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles inverted, we'd have to spend the next hour slowly explaining to Josh what that means. And who needs to dig into interpretations when we can just say, hey, Josh, the cards say you're an idiot. And the death card. That's a bad one in this movie.
Which side are you on?
Oh, I'm team idiot all the way.
What do you mean I'm not on any side?
Good or evil? God or the devil?
Taste great or less feeling. Which is it?
You are not the chosen one.
The chosen one.
The one who must stand up to the wind.
The wind.
When you're outside and it's all... you know? And then she draws the devil... Oh, wait, make that the tower. Hey, what do you know? That's a slightly less used card for movies, but it's a pretty bad one. Linked to disaster. Well, she's seen enough. She's like, hey, give me the talisman.
The angel Gabriel gave it to one of our kings a long, long time ago.
Alright, sure, lady. Ooh, your fortune's looking pretty bad here. Better give me all your jewelry just to be safe. Josh's like, ha, no. My dad gave me this. You can't have it. So she draws one more card. The devil! Which represents being dominated, often by employment of material pleasures by a sinister third party. Something that doesn't happen in this movie. A more apt reading would have been something like The Hanged Man, The Tower, and The Lovers Inverted. Though that last one's just because it's in every movie.
Get out!
What should I be?
Get out!
You know, she was slightly more interested in getting the talisman from him when she just thought he was an idiot. And of course she uses the tea he drank for more divination, reading tea leaves revealing the tea was way stronger than it looked. But that's also the symbol of the evil satanic cult, combining the number of the beast with HE sextuple hockey sticks. But more importantly, Nikki is angry with Josh. He was supposed to be filming the Gypsies, not sprinkling foreshadowing into the audience, but he thinks this means his talisman is special.
When I was in college taking chemistry, we did a study on it.
And?
It wasn't a known metal, not on the chart of elements.
So the talisman was a gift from the Yautja?
The professor figured it was from a meteorite.
And we left it at that. Sure, it was one of those scientifically significant discoveries of the century and would have revolutionized chemistry and physics going forward, but unsurprisingly, though, Ernie isn't impressed by the dancing gypsies. He's like, we got dancing gypsies in Jersey. Give me that interview I sent you there for. But never mind trouble with work or with basic concepts of logic and reasoning. We've got to finish that tarot card reading. Yeah, Irina hasn't moved this whole time. Next card is the Lovers, followed by the Magician. Then, pulling one more for good measure, it's Justice. And man, the more cards she pulls, every single one of them from the major arcana, every single one of them upright, not reversed, is really the most unbelievable aspect of this whole reading. But this is enough to get her to call Josh up like, hey, been up all night slowly finishing that reading.
The cards say maybe I make mistake about you.
Or maybe next time actually finish the reading before you chase the guy out of the tent.
Yeah, you definitely made a mistake about me.
But you make mistake about me.
Maybe.
No, maybe. I speak true always.
Didn't you just admit to being wrong? God, no one of these gypsies are making friends with politicians.
Why don't we just talk? I could come to your place.
No, not good now.
For there is an evil PlayStation 1 car waiting outside. Man, I remember when these pre-rendered backgrounds actually looked impressive. Did the movie just respond to my complaints in real time? Ooh, that gives me an idea. Hey, like this video. Like it, it helps, it really helps with the algorithm. And subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. You subscribed yet? You haven't subscribed yet. I'm coming in there. Well, they can't talk at her place, so Josh meets up with Irina at a local cafe. They go over the basic plot. Hey, that Meta Tempesta thingamajig was bad. Almost killed the Gypsies way back when, but it will return, and when it does, a chosen hero will rise to stop it.
When the birds stop singing and the full moon turns blood red, like the book says, then I'll worry.
Ah, come on now, that could happen right now, and you'd be there like, I don't know, man, it's more of a maroon. But she says he must worry now, for our men can still hurt him. He's the mysterious leader of a satanic cult who seeks to bring the Meta Tempesta back.
They have the power of the devil and they kill Gypsy. Just like Hitler.
I mean, they're both bad, but I'm having a hard time seeing the connection here. But the car of discomfort has found her, so she must run. So ain't nothing to do here but go back to the hotel. Until Nikki wakes Josh up like, hey, get up, we got that interview to go to, and it's already 9:30.
That means I've gotten 3 hours sleep in the past 48.
Oh, don't put that on her just because you haven't bothered to sleep in the countless opportunities you've had to do so. He tries to explain that there are more important things than political interview opportunities going on right now. The reason he hasn't slept. The coming of the Meta Tempesta. Now, she doesn't like disasters as much as the next guy. Tornadoes? Boo, stinky. But...
It's the whole devil doing it, Armageddon, end of the world stuff that's frankly ridiculous.
So does this make this movie a self-aware comedy? Anyway, the most important thing to Nikki is the interview.
Should I ask the minister personal questions like family, or should I...
Stay loose, see how it goes. You'll be all right.
And I gotta say, I got far more useful information as to how to properly conduct an interview out of the Roger Corman flick Death Race 2050. Once they arrive at the government building, they meet the minister's press dude, Adrian, played by Julian Penarose. Now, I'd love to tell you how Nikki's interview with Petrus goes, however...
Mr. Minister, why have you become the champion of the gypsy cause? You're not a gypsy yourself.
We don't actually see any of her interviewing a guy, just the parts where her cameraman's going over her head and just berating the man. When Josh pushes on like, hey, you doing anything to stop that satanic cult? It obviously derails the interview and makes them very quick to get him out of there. I think we're supposed to be suspicious of them because of this, but come on, what would you do with such a boorish cameraman making these kinds of demands of your office? Obviously, Nikki isn't happy with Josh ruining the interview they flew all this way for, but he's like, you gotta understand, Satanists are trying to destroy the Gypsies with the Satan tornado. My dad knew all about it, and his Romanian mathematician friend, Malik. Hey, I got a great idea. How about we go down to see Malik?
I'll drive, okay?
You're the boss.
Honestly, at this point, I don't blame her. Big honkin' VHS camcorders or not, she would have done a much better job in there with just a selfie stick. But with the power of a taxi, Josh can continue his quest. Reaching Malik's house, he finds out it's not Malik's house, but Malik's former house, and the current owner doesn't speak English so well. When Josh asks where Malik is, she tells him, the cemetery. So it's off to the cemetery, where it can suddenly turn nightfall, because time of day is more of a suggestion in Romania. And who doesn't love a cemetery scene at night when it's barely 11 in the morning? Now, while this is all very confusing, fortunately Josh just so happens to run into the caretaker, played by Sandu Mikai Gruya, an eccentric polyglot who knows just where to find Malik Ducanto's Ducanto family plot. How convenient! And oh, would you look at that! Malik is not buried here because he's actually not dead yet. Where could he be, though?
He's staying,
Prison?
no.
Crazy.
Yes, nah.
Asylum.
Oh my god! He's the one who's been making all these Sharknado movies! But by the next day, it's back to work with Josh doing his absolute best as a cameraman for Nikki. But what's this? Their perfect honest day's work is completely ruined when Romania is suddenly besieged by tornadoes! Perhaps Josh can save the day with his talisman, but he has suddenly misplaced it. They try to drive away, but the absolutely horrendous special effects won't allow them to escape. But it was all just a dream! Which we could easily tell from the get-go with Josh's sudden rock-solid work ethic. But upon waking up, Josh learns that there actually was a tornado that ravaged part of Romania.
This would make a great segment. We should go out there.
And Nikki's first idea is to run out there so she can stand in front of the devastation and do some TikTok dances. Either way, the two of them head out together, only for Josh to not go to the village, but instead stop off at the asylum where Malik is being held. Somehow, Nikki doesn't just continue on her own and agrees to wait here while Josh works on progressing the plot. Seems Malik has been locked away for years. But why?
476 674. Not 6 not good.
I'm sure they have their reasons. Malik, played by George Gigore, has one important thing to say. The number 6 is bad. But what does he mean by this? Perhaps we'll find out when a sudden tornado appears, tearing a hole into the side of the building and causing havoc. Okay, so did a tornado suddenly appear outside, or did one of you nutjobs finally solve the cube and summon the Cenobites? As there's no time to lose, Josh begs Malik to tell him how to stop Meta Tempesta. So Malik does the thing where he tells him one incredibly esoteric clue to keep him going somewhere. Thomas! Which he doesn't understand in the slightest before he is tragically killed by the tornado. Okay, are they trying to act like the tornado ripped the guy from the guy's hand and is pulling him away? Or that he's a kid and he doesn't want to go to school? He was killed by that tornado. Just like my dad was killed by a tornado. With incredibly trash effects. Oh, but yeah, he did leave the blonde in the car. Don't worry, she's fine. I mean, she's traumatized worse than he is at this point, but still breathing. But Josh is still confused about that vague clue Malik gave, so he Googles Thomas. But, oh darn it, all they're finding is businesses and ads and no hint as to what any of it means to the plot. Thus, they're like, hey, Irina, how you been? About time to bring you back into the movie. Help us dig through these old Romanian books trying to find the next breadcrumb we're supposed to follow.
Thomas was a ruin, and the Romans rebuilt under Constantine the Great, who changed Thomas' name. Now Constantina.
Oh, it was renamed Constantine in the 4th century. You'd think Malik would have known that. But a city's a big place. Where would they go if they hoped to stop the apocalypse? Well, how about the monastery of St. John of the Apocalypse? Sounds as good a place as any to check. And there they meet Father Alexei, played by Alano Silva. He has shocking revelations for the group. Hey gang, did you know that there's this apocalyptic storm called the Meta Tempesta? Well, there is, and it's coming back, and the only hope of stopping it is the Chosen One. But it's not just stopping the tornadoes. Oh no, you're also gonna have to deal with the satanic cult who is trying to cause Meta Tempesta.
Do you know where we can find them?
I have some information, yes.
Oh yeah, he keeps tabs on all the satanic cults. Gotta invite someone over for poker night. Thus, Josh and Nikki head out to the local cult headquarters. As we're getting ever so close to the end of the movie...
Oh my god.
all the signs start showing up, no matter how cheaply they have to pull it off. As such, Josh suddenly tells Nikki to stay behind where it's safe, so he can go forth and spy on just what it is the cultists are doing. I swear, you turn your back for 1 second. And it's here we learn that Adrian is in fact Ahriman, the leader of the satanic cult. But have no fear, for Josh can swoop in to save the day, beating the crap out of the countless cultists to save Nikki from being bled to feed their god. So they must run, but they have a mission. You see, the cultists are bringing the Meta Tempesta to kill the Gypsies, and there just so happens to be that Congress between the Gypsies and the Congress today, the perfect target for an evil tornado. So they have to hurry and warn them, but not so fast, for the cult is right on their tail. And these compact cars ain't exactly built for speed, so how will they escape?
It's now or never.
By being righteous, God-fearing people and driving straight on the straight road, where they knew their satanic pursuers would not be able to resist the temptation of swerving to hit the pile of watermelons and then being unable to move away in time to hit that parked car that was easily avoidable. Ha! Brilliant. So they reach the Congress and tell Petrus, look out! The press dude, Adrian, is actually the lead cultist, Ahriman. But what's this? It turns out that Petrus was actually Ahriman this entire time! And Adrian isn't the leader of the cult, just his lackey. So Irina warns the Gypsies the storm is coming, while the cultists move to escape. But what's this? Adrian betrays Ahriman and steals the escape chopper from him, leaving him to die, so that Adrian can become Ahriman, the leader of the cult. But what's this? It turns out having an escape helicopter for tornadoes was an incredibly stupid idea, and Adrian is unable to escape. Wait. Roll that back. The tornado roared and has a face. I realize I probably don't even have to say anything about that, but I feel like I should, but I can't put it into words. Anyway, while everyone takes shelter, Josh has to face off against the tornadoes. And yes, every single one of them has a face, and they won't stop roaring. But what's this? Ahriman Classic is still alive, and the leader of the cult once again. But wait! He is sucked into the tornadoes of his own making, and the cult leader is killed! Again! Therefore, happy ending! This somehow stopped the tornadoes, which killed all the bad people and only a few of the good people. And now Josh gets to make the real important decision. Which love interest to pursue? Well, he ain't moving to Romania, so bye-bye, Irina. Gonna continue with my very loud-mouthed American blonde over here. Man, that regret is setting in record time. Anyway, that was Nature Unleashed, Tornado. I guess it had a little to do with tornadoes. Honestly, the most tornado thing about this movie is that it looks like at times they did use real disaster footage from actual tornadoes, but yeah, I don't like to actually showcase those kinds of parts in my reviews, because using real-life tragedy for crappy low-budget entertainment is kind of messed up, you know? But anyway, what is Nature Unleashed Tornado? crappy low-budget entertainment. But how well will it entertain you is determined entirely on how much you can enjoy watching a cheesy movie and laughing at it. The entire setup, cast of characters, and driving points of the story is a disaster in every sense of the word. From Josh and his personal history with tornadoes because my father was killed by a tornado, to a satanic cult summoning an apocalyptic super tornado storm with faces that roars to wipe out gypsies at the behest of a corrupt politician. I don't have to embellish that at all. It's absolutely bonkers from the get-go. The execution of the film is nothing special, though, with very low-quality special effects paired with mediocre acting at best. No, I mean, come on, they didn't exactly have the most riveting dialogue to work with here. At the end of the day, Nature Unleashed Tornado is the lowest of the low in the Nature Unleashed series, somehow upping the ante of just how much it had nothing to do with the disaster at hand from Earthquake, bringing in weird supernatural forces like in Volcano, and, this time it's personal because my family was killed in this kind of disaster like in... like in every Nature Unleashed movie, coming in at 1 roaring tornado with a CGI face out of 5. I mean, it's not the worst one I've ever seen, but I mean, come on, even as a fan of bad movies, it was a stinker. Thank you all for watching. I've been Dr. Shado. And remember, if you're the cameraman, keep your mouth shut!
Just like Caitlin.
Whew, that was something, wasn't it? Marks the final Nature Unleashed movie review. Which means, of course, you can check out all the other Nature Unleashed movie reviews I've done. Or there isn't any more room for end screen elements. Like and subscribe. Algorithm.